Hello, this is Mark from I Am Organic Gardening, located in Zone 6B in the state of New Jersey. And in today's video, I want to take a look underneath the microscope here to look at our very young tomato seedlings that I have started here. I started them inside in, let's say, a more sterile condition than outside. But I want to see at what time does the immune system of the plant start using the biology of the soil to start protecting itself. What I understand, and there's pretty much two theories out there, is that it would cover itself, the leaves of the tomatoes here will cover itself with all, let's say, microbes in the future, and that's why people use compost tea, because the plant exudates come out and cover the whole surface of the plant, grows microbes on it to protect itself, almost like a barrier against pests and diseases. So I want to see when that starts coming into effect and how strong it is. And right now is a good opportunity when the plants are young here that I can start taking a close look at them underneath the microscope, and also doing a couple of little like side samples to get a good understanding of how and when this starts and how we can improve it. This is only going to be part one. There's going to be a long process going through the whole, let's say, growing season of that tomato plant to find out really what's going on and how it protects itself all the time from the, let's say, the hardships of its life outside in the cycle when it's growing outside in nature. But how does nature provide let's call it an immune system to help that tomato plant withstand diseases and pests? So since I'm going to thin these tomato plants anyway, I'm just going to take one sample here, like so. I'm going to be very careful. I'm not going to touch the leaf here, but I'm just going to cut a little part of that leaf and put it on a slide and put a little cover on top of it, and then I'm going to look underneath the microscope with it, and I'll show you what I see. So I have my tomato leaf sample, which is from a seedling, underneath the microscope now, and now I have to, which way should we go here? Zoom in on it, see what we come up with. There we go. Nice. So that's the surface of our tomato leaf, and that's what it looks like underneath the microscope. And this is only at about 100 magnification. Not too bad. Let's see if we can enlarge the picture here. The little hand symbol. Go the other way. There we go. Now hopefully you can see this better on camera. Let's see if I can zoom this out and then clear this up. Hopefully you can see that very well. All those individual little cells on top of that tomato leaf, or actually making up the tomato leaf. The reason I'm doing this is the better understanding of what the tomato surface of the leaf looks like. Then we can understand how diseases set into it or what it looks like, and just have a good general idea of how nature has developed all this. Now what I want to focus in is in that spot right there, that circle. That seems just kind of odd. Let's see if we can move this over. Oops, wrong way. There we go. Now, let me zoom in on this if we can. What I'm looking for is this spot right there. It looks blank and also like an opening. Now, I don't know what that is. Oops, hit the wire here. There we go. See, that's an odd little shape. I don't know what that is, but eventually in time I'm going to explore and find out. But that's very interesting. So let's move around the tomato leaf. What I'm looking for is that since we're growing these seedlings indoors and they haven't been outside, what's going on with the leaf? Is there anything that's on there that's bizarre? You know? So what's this big? There we go. What's going on here? Now that looks like some dead cells already, or it might even be where I crushed it by putting it underneath the microscope. That might be the reason too, where I've actually, when I press a slide down on top, that those things happen. But then there's another image of that too. It's almost like they have kind of like a root hair or a whisker on top of the leaf that comes out. Now let's go around a little bit here, see what we can find. Interesting. Ooh. Now what's this guy? Huh. This is strange. What's that? Now that looks like something is attached to itself to the leaf and is growing. Now I'm going to move the camera a little bit and then get zoomed in here. I'm going to actually back this off. There we go. And then if we can, hopefully this comes out really clear. If not, bear with me. The camera has its own autofocus and sometimes it just stays blurry or takes a while to get in there. Now, that's interesting. Now, another little thing that look into in the future. Now, is that a spore that's come off the, let's say, worm castings I had in there, or my leaf mold, or the I also used this year too as an experiment, which is what's this called? Coconut fiber, you know. So put that in there too. So is it just a little piece of dirt on top, or organic matter that's sitting there? But just interesting how it all falls into place. But what I'm trying to discover here is how this plant makes an immune system for itself. Now on the surface of every plant there should be, since this is inside, I don't expect to see anything that much, but there should be like a living culture of things on top of this leaf, meaning like there should be bacteria and let's see, protozoas and nematodes crawling over the surface. They're not just in the soil, they're also, that's what builds the immune system of a plant, and that's what I'm trying to find out, is how that surface is covered. So let's say a spore that lands on that plant does not invade the surface of the plant because it has to go through a small film of, or actually a large film because it's microscopic, of something that does not attack the plant. So between, let's say this, I'm not saying it is, but let's say that's a spore of a disease. Now this is the surface of the tomato plant here. There should be a thin layer in the future when it goes back outside and builds up an immune system, and that's what I'm trying to find out this year, that this layer covers this. It's almost like taking a piece of plastic and laying it over, that it builds up this wall of microorganisms, so that spore, if it is a spore, can attack the plant because it's not really sitting on the leaf and can eat the leaf. It has to go through that layer of all those good bacteria and fungus and everything that's on that plant, and will not allow that spore to germinate, and then it will die off. Because spores just fly around in the air or come up or bounce off the soil. So that's what I'm exploring. So I want to see what it looks like ahead of time inside when we grow it, because that's what, that's the purpose of this video, is to, when does the immune system of a plant kick in? It has to go outside, and that's why you have to acclimate them slowly, because what you're also doing too is getting them ready for temperature per se, that you also are building up the plant immune system to build up all that bacteria and fungi on the leaf surface, so you don't have diseases in the future with this. But there, look at this. This is, oh, now there's a better shot. What is this? I have no idea. Again, and if you watch the other video the other day for the bird that I couldn't identify, I want to thank you so very much for everybody that wrote in. It's amazing, and I thank you and I love you all, because you did such a hard work to try and identify this, and great tips and information. I am very impressed myself that I have this beautiful bird on my property, and hopefully several more, someday. And yes, I'm building more bird houses as we speak. So this is interesting too. I have no idea. That doesn't look like dead cells. That looks like something that's pretty much sitting on top. And this was the top of the leaf too. Now I'm gonna have to go with something that's, I don't know. It's either some kind of eggs or whatever too. But now, I've never had a problem ever growing in this thing, setting outside and having disease problems or egg problems or something like mites growing on this thing. Now, it might be something very interesting this year that I have compared to other years, but we'll find out how these seedlings progress, and what's the real deal with this, you know? See, let's see if we get a better picture here. This is just, here it is, just sitting on those tomato leaves that's so small. Now, I'm going to follow this again too. Oops, now it's going to go blur out. I'm going to have to back off the camera to give you a better angle here. Again, I'm trying my best to give you the quality pictures that I like to do in my videos. But with this particular thing, you just have to take a chance and see if you can get the right angle and also lighting here. So that's pretty cool. So interesting, once again, what we got going on just our tomato plants that we're starting inside. Maybe nature will take over and clear it off. There's no way that I can actually take the slide off right now and scrape that off and go into it further. I won't see it that much. I'd have to work underneath the microscope to try to analyze that, but I'll try to send my pictures out to some people that might know what this is. I don't know if I'll get an answer from them. You know, everybody I know is extremely busy and they do this free of charge, so it might be a year before I get an answer, but again, I got to start someplace and see what's going on. So let's take a tour here. That's the edge of the leaf. Let's go back. More leaves. But it seems like it's quite a bit on them. And here's another one. Now there's, look at that. Now again, I'm not worried about this. Again, it's microscopic. It's only, I'm looking at it at 100 magnification, so it's very small. So whatever it is, it might just not allow this to work properly or go after as a disease or anything else too. It might even be some kind of function of a leaf. Again, don't know. But interesting, and I just want to show you what I'm finding on the surface of these tomato leaves, and it looks like that's going right through it all. It might be its own, it might even be something that's here. Look at that. It might something that it grows itself or something like that. I don't know. Are these just kind of like nodules where root hairs or leaf hairs come out or something like that? Because you can see right here in the middle, if you can, is looks like there's a circle opening there, and that's bizarre. So I don't know if this is where in the leaf with all the cells, is this where exudates come out, in a leaf that protects it too, that feeds the microorganisms on top of the leaf. Is that kind of a root hair beginning or something? A root hair, like a plant root hair that's beginning, and that's like the pore that it sits in, and I crushed it off. But just amazing little tour that can give you an insight of what our tomato plants look like before we get them outside. Now look at, wow, here we go. This has got to be, I'm very curious now. I don't have any idea. If anybody knows what this is, let me know. Like the bird. Now, this is just, I don't want to lose this. I want to go the wrong way here. Now we should go down. Wow. Same thing, circle in the middle, and then I don't know if this is this might be in the veins of the plant, like the deep blue veins that run through the plant even, but some are just starting, or maybe this is how they, strengthen themselves over time. They turn a different color, and then they bring more water to the cells. This might be just like a river inside the plant. Now here we can follow this a lot better. Now it seems to go for quite some distance here. So that's very long. Again, I don't want to get off the subject here, but it's just now we have our dark circle here, and now whether whatever this is, it seems like it's, you know, I don't know if this came first or that first, but it seems like we have this first and this comes later on. So I don't know if this is a spore that's opening up and then affecting the plant surface here, or it's the other way around where this is something that's supposed to be in the plant and then it's creating a, let's say, an outlet for itself in the plant to protect it, you know. So, but this is a great shot. Again, this is what I want to share with you so much because you're interested just as I am that all these things come into play when we garden, and just to give a better understanding of what we're looking at and how to treat things or not to treat them, or just to get a good outlook that how beautiful nature works and amazing things that she creates here is just outstanding. Look at that. And that just keeps going down the line there. It must be, look at that. This just keeps going and going. Whatever it is, and I don't see this when just looking at the leaf. This must be, because see how certain things are coming out or something like that? These just might be something as simple as, again, where these little hairs on your tomato plants are coming out and just doing a surface or a way to get exudates from the roots and bring them up and then feed the surface of the plant to, you know, create its own environment here. So I will look into it and let you know in the future what I come up with, but that is an amazing shot of what we got going on. Now you can see actually something coming out or growing in each one of these now. Hopefully you can see this. Now we just, there we go. Let's move this over. Look at that. So there is some kind of hair coming out of each one of those things, you know. Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to write in like, yeah, your plant's got acne, but you know, it must be just these individual root hairs coming out inside those, you know, plant leaves. Like I said, those tomato plant leaves. Now in this picture, I just did a little bit better here. It seems like whatever that opening, or let's say that dark circle is here, is small, and that seems like it's generating, it seems like this is generating first and then it's exuding this or growing this out, and then this opens up and it creates more. So it seems like a nice challenge to find out for me in the future what this is, and then I will share it with you. Again, it might be something very common and basic that's supposed to be on a tomato plant, but I also find it very interesting to look at everything at a microscopic level to understand nature, so I can, let's say, work with nature and create its own environment to solve a problem, or even understand it so I can explain it to you nice people and also other people. So I'm always asking questions and observing things underneath the microscope and trying to find out what's going on. So I hope you enjoyed this video very much. If you can get a chance to, please like it and share it. That helps out my channel immensely. And I thank you once again. I will hopefully get outside. We've had rain for the last 2 days and the winds are blowing about 35 miles an hour right now. So I am going to be planting out more seedlings in the basement and getting things started. But have a great day and a fantastic gardening season ahead of you. And everybody that sends me photos on Facebook, I enjoy it so very much. I am jealous that you have your garden started already, and I'm begging to get out to start doing mine and planting up some plants soon. Thanks. Enjoy. Bye.